joining me. I'm Roger Alcock. They are ready to go here at Madison-Grant High School. The Argyles and the Oak Hill Golden Eagles. Not even 7 o'clock. Let's kick this thing off.
76, Logan Bailey.
Hitter's night. Let's go down to Randall King.
Number 3, Dylan Brooks brings the Argyles to the line of scrimmage.
Roger and Ron, it's a big night for both teams. They're both looking at only one win on the season. You look on the Madison-Grant sideline, Coach Brady Turner told us earlier in the week, he's very excited about what they did against Alexandria, particularly defensively. You look on the other side of the field with Coach Bud Osmond. He likes what he sees each week, the growth from his very young team. And both coaches agree Oak Hill is better than their records. Coach Turner hopes Madison-Grant is the same. Back to you guys.
Well, we're just underway here. Thank you very much, Randall King and Ron Vermillion. As Randall said, both teams, the record would not indicate maybe what the coaches would like to see each team have accomplished, but both coaches have told us their teams are getting better, they're improving, and we feel we've got the makeup of a pretty good football game here.
We sure do, and this is two Grant County teams here as we get the running game kicked off. As Madison-Grant comes out in a double tight and a straight T
Number 34,
offense.
Mike Stewart, the ball carrier.
For the Argyles, they'll be led out of the huddle
tackle
by the quarterback. Number 3, Dylan Brooks. He's a senior, 5'9", 160. Kind of keep an eye out for him also in the backfield. Michael Stewart, number 34. They'll also go to Jonah Johnson, number 88 as well. But they really count heavily on Dylan Brooks to run this offense, similar to what we saw last week from that Logan Sport team at Marion, kind of that wing T look. They'll run it, and they'll continue to run it, and sooner or later they hope to break a big gainer on you.
And they do. That carry was by Randall Fultz, and he's a 5'8" junior. They run with 3 backs in the backfield, a straight T that goes back to the 50s, Roger. And they want to control the ball against Oak Hill.
Well, it's 3rd and long here. This is not the situation that Madison-Grant wants to be in here. Brooks rolling out. He is hemmed in, and he's going to go down. In fact, he will lose a couple of yards. And then on the tackle for the Golden Eagles, I think down at the bottom of the pile there, looked like maybe Spencer Whitehead. A couple other Eagles there as well. So the Eagles defense comes up with the big stand here on the first possession, and they'll force a Madison-Grant punt.
And as we look at Oak Hill getting the ball, Oak Hill has a pretty good offense. In Clay McCurkle, who is a sophomore. They play a lot of sophomores. And these sophomores are good sophomores. Then you have Landry Osmond, the coach's son, who's a senior. Other seniors sorted in there, and we'll see how they do it once they get the kick.
A short kick that takes a Madison-Grant bounce. Kean Height, number 31, was back to return it for Oak Hill. He just steps away and lets it roll dead at the 40-yard line. Talking about this Oak Hill offense run, they've put up a lot of yards. They put up a lot of yards against Mississinawa, against Eastbrook. I think Coach Bud Osmond is hoping that they can kind of finish those drives and get in the end zone.
They do have several turnovers. That's probably one of the big bugaboos is the turnovers. But this team can score points. They have a good mix of seniors and sophomores, and we get a chance here to see them coming out in the slot look.
Well, there's a whistle before this play's even stepped. Well, we got to get the chain gang in place. Talked about the quarterback for the Eagles, number 2, a 10th grader, Clay McCorkle, moved up from JV this year, and Landry Osmond, as you mentioned, moves over from the quarterback spot, and there's Landry Osmond with the first reception, and pitch and catch there from McCorkle to Osmond, picks up, and Oak Hill first down, or very close to it.
11 yards on the drag coming across to Landry Osmond. That's his 29th catch of the game, or of the season. He has over 300 receiving yards.
Osmond, the kind of number 1 receiving threat, and then John Holtz, number 41, who has the carry here.
Wow.
The big running threat, big yards on first down, gets it inside the Madison-Grant 40 and down to the 36-yard line. So 2 plays and 2 first downs. Straight
up the gut, Roger. Just straight up the gut, running over people, picking up a second first down for Oak Hill down to the 36-yard line of Madison-Grant.
And there you see Holtz just getting some good leverage and getting low and driving the tackler back for another yard. Well, it's first down for Oak Hill. Out of the shotgun. Here's McCorkle. Little play action, looks right. Throwing right, has Osmond. Slips one tackle and then is hit and taken down immediately. But he does get inside the 30-yard line down to the 29-yard line. So a good gain on first down for Oak Hill.
Clay McCorkle, the sophomore, 6 foot, 150 pounds. Here we see it as he goes back to Osmond. The second catch for Osmond, a 7-yard pickup there at the 30-yard line.
Michael Stewart in on the tackle along with a couple other Argyles, but Stewart, number 34, a linebacker, and one of the main running threats from the tailback position when he's on offense. Here's McCorkle to Holtz. Holtz, little stutter move, still on his feet. And he picks up another Oak Hill first down. And Ron, he's down near the 15, down at the 16-yard line. That offensive line for Oak Hill really opening up some good running lanes.
Blowing out big holes. 14-yard pickup, second 14-yard pickup in 2 plays as they seem to have the offensive game going, and they're in the red zone for the first time.
River Smith moves over to the right side of the formation. Here's a handoff, and that time the Argyle defense sniffs that one out. And they're on the tackle, Michael Stewart. And that will be a loss of at least 3 yards, maybe 4. We'll wait for the spot, but it'll take it back to the 19-yard line.
Madison-Grant in that 3 front. Here we see them come across the left end, and the outside backer getting the tackle.
Connor Murphy also in on that tackle for the Argyle, so it's second down. Call it 13. Rolling to his left. Oh, man, is wide open. That's Smith at the 5. Gets a block, and he goes in the end zone for the touchdown.
21-yard touchdown pass as he goes on the out route. Let's call that a flag route because it was more towards the flag. Nice opening and plenty of time to throw. This Clay McCorkle is kind of impressive. That's 55. He's got 58 pass completions now in the season.
Well, in to attempt the extra point is Sevier. Landry Osmond to hold. It's a low snap, but the kick is up. It is good, and Oak Hill takes the early 7-0 lead. And Ron, as we take a look at this, McCorkle just puts it right on the money where Smith can run it, and after makes the catch, he's in stride.
He does. A good block down there at the 5-yard line, and we're at a 7-0 game right now. Oak Hill comes out and just rolls down, takes all of 4 plays, and
yeah, 60 yards.
60 yards in 4 plays. So coming out, we said coming into this game that Oak Hill can move the ball. And Coach was talking the other day, he has to have his teams finish, not just move the ball, but cross the goal line. That time it was an easy one, as the offensive line for Oak Hill did a nice job in getting their block secured. 3 passes and 2 running plays for Oak Hill in that 5 series.
Well, I was just going to say, Ron, that was exactly what most coaches want is on offense, the balance between the run game and the pass game, and then the drive that results in a touchdown. I mean, that is the best case scenario for sure.
And it was quick. It was about 3.5 minutes for the series.
Sevier kicks this one away. It's a lone line drive. Well, now the carry is out to the 15, then wrapped up and taken down. That's Max Stephanadis with the big tackle, number 5 for the, actually, who is that? Stephanadis, what number? Number 17, who made the initial hit there.
Clayton Powell on the reception there. He just didn't get any blocks, and as he tries to go left, tries to go right, gets tackled back on the 15-yard line. Not very good field position as Madison-Grant starts their second series.
Indeed, it is a second series for the Argyles. They really need to maybe generate a first down or two here, see if they can at least switch the field. Not a lot of success on their first possession. Here's the pitch. That's a nice pickup on first down as they get it out there on the right side to Micah Stewart. 5 yards on first down. That is a
20-yard line.
I mean, that's a positive for Madison-Grant.
It is a positive gain as they flip it out to the right. Again, we won't see this very often. It's a 50s offense, a full house, which means double tight end, and then you have three backs in the back, and they just shuffle the cards back there with them.
Here's the inside handoff. No running room there, though, as the interior of that Oak Hill defense. Really, I would think, Ron, if you're playing defense against this type of offense, you just have to play very disciplined, stay in your lanes, don't break contain, but not a lot of fancy stuff. Just do your job in your area.
I think what we're seeing here is a forefront out of Oak Hill, and they've got four pretty big linemen up there. They are bigger than the offensive linemen for Madison-Grant right now, and they are doing a nice job stopping the ball.
Here's the pitch, Stewart working right side, and he may, with that second effort, pick up the first down. It's going to be very close. And they're not even going to need to measure as he got just out across the 25. So it is a Madison-Grant first down, their first down of the ball game. We talked about that Oak Hill defensive line. They're anchored inside there by number 74, Bradley Rossman.
Here's the quick pitch to the outside. He slips a tackle, and this great second effort gets that first down for Madison-Grant.
There was a near miss on that handoff, and actually it was given to the first man through. Johnson, as we mentioned, number 88 with the carry, picks up a yard. One last thought about Oak Hill and some of the interior linemen. We know, covering Indiana Wesleyan football, Owen Perkins, what he accomplished at Oak Hill, now what he's doing at Indiana Wesleyan. But they have such a great wrestling program. You get some of these guys like Bradley Rossman this year who are good wrestlers too. They know how to use leverage.
They sure do.
Here's a long pass attempt, and it's going to be picked off by Landry Osmond. Landry Osmond with the big interception at the, what is it going to be, at the 38-yard line of Oak Hill. And
that ball is tossed, just big arc on it. Landry plays center field. Nice jump, nice catch. Brings it down, and that's his actually third catch of the game, two on the offensive side, and an interception now on the defensive side.
The intended receiver was number 81, Jimmy Rigney, and he kind of turned into the defensive back that time. So after the first down, the Argyles turn it over on the interception, the first turnover, and we haven't talked about this, but both coaches knew that turnovers could be really a huge factor in this ball game.
Both coaches wanted their team to finally get a game where they didn't have turnovers. Madison-Grant really knew coming in that they needed to control the offense, the time of possession, and that if they didn't, that it might be a tough game for them.
Gain of 4 yards on that carry brings up a 2nd and 6, about 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Osmond in motion, takes the pitch. He's hitting the backfield, and he's going to be taken down for the big loss. And they're in the Madison-Grant backfield. That was, of course, Michael Stewart.
Michael Stewart is, probably the leading tackler for them. And what a nice job he does, going both ways. Here he comes on that jet sweep. And Landry Osmond just can't elude him. The thing I noticed about Landry Osmond, he had about 10 carries for the season, but he was close to negative yardage for those 10s, and that's why we see what we do, because if you don't execute on the jet sweep, you're going to lose yardage on it.
Well, in fact, that sets up a third and very long, about 3rd and 14. That was McCorkle on the throw. It's complete out to the 46-yard line, but it'll be well shy of the first down. So now we'll see what Oak Hill, Coach Bud Osmond, decide to do on 4th down. It's about 4th and a long 3.
They're close to the middle. They like to run that 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right.
And they're going to go for it.
They sure are. They only need 2 yards.
That is River Smith, who sets up now the right side of the formation. And now there's a penalty flag. A false start on Oak Hill. And that may change the equation now.
That might.
Here comes the punt team.
You know, mistakes and turnovers hurt a lot of teams, especially 1 and 5 teams. And both of these teams are 1 and 5. There's a costly mistake for the Oak Hill offense. We just witnessed a costly mistake for the Madison-Grant offense when they threw the interception.
There's a snap and a high punt. Not terribly deep, but it takes an Oak Hill bounce. And so Isaac Cooper will just stand to the side and watch that one roll dead inside the 25 at the 22-yard line. That's where Madison-Grant will take over the football. Their 3rd possession of the first quarter.
I would say if I was Madison-Grant, that was a very successful defensive stand for me. And this is, again, senior night for the seniors. We have 6 seniors dressed for Madison-Grant. The skilled kids are mostly seniors. So let's see what this senior team can do for Madison-Grant.
Dylan Brooks leads the Argyles out of the huddle. Hands it to the 3rd man through. Has a bit of a hole on the left side. And a nice gain on first down across the 25. And that ball is going to be marked forward progress out about the 28-yard line.
You know, I saw a good set of blocks for the, we see right here. Watch the left side block down. Here is the ball carrier coming outside, and he gets 6 yards. Good first down setup for Madison-Grant.
2nd down handoff. Well, this time Stewart looks like he may lose about a yard. And on the tackle for Oak Hill, Josiah Columbus in there, number 20.
Brings up 3rd down.
And that'll bring up 3rd down now. You would imagine, though, Madison-Grant, after the last pass attempt, the interception, their game is the run game. Got to believe that going to keep it on the ground here, I would think.
Work to the left side, and as he comes out, here is the quarterback keeper.
Brooks trying to get around the corner, working towards that first down marker, and Ron, he is going to be very close. We'll wait for the spot, but I think he's got it. He does.
Sure does. A nice pickup. 8-yard pickup for Brooks as he comes around and picks up that first down. I think they were keying on the 3 backs, and they forgot about the quarterback.
2nd first down. Picked up by Madison-Grant. I don't know about you, Ron, but I thought on that run, it looked like Brooks had just maybe a little bit of a hitch in his gait there.
He was looking, I thought he was looking for somebody to block for him, and he finally did get the outside block. It's tough sometimes when you run double tight end to get outside unless those lead blockers, and that in his case would be the 3 backs out there would block for him.
Now we have a stoppage of play. It's 2nd down. And here we go. 2nd down and 10 after that incomplete pass on first down. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go here in a fast-moving first quarter of action. It's the Grant County High School football game of the week. Brought to you on WIWU. Brooks on the roll. And that one is there. It is picked off, intercepted. And who was that? That was number 31, Kean Height, a sophomore. And, Ron, we were going to talk a little bit about this. Coach Bud Osmond talked about several sophomores on this team. We've already talked about McCorkle, but Blake Fox, Kean Height, Tristan Hayes. There's several sophomores on this team who are really making an impact.
Here we see this interception as he drops back. It wasn't quite thrown high enough to get over the top of Height. Nice job by Height to get up and pull that ball down.
Well, the 2nd interception of the night, and it gives the football in great field position for Mississippi. Oh, how did Landry Osmond maintain possession of that catch because he took a hit.
Jimmy Rigney that time on his corner spot, and Landry Osmond picks up 8 yards, but he pays for it. Wow, he came across on the quick out. Here we see it. Watch him going out, and a big hit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good throw, a great catch, and a great hit there, but just a good all-around football play there. But somehow Landry Osmond is able to maintain possession of it. Well, so it's now 2nd down. Here's Holtz. Holtz gets it inside the 30 and still bowls his way now inside the 25. Let's check in downstairs with Randall King.
Hasn't taken long, Roger, for Ron Vermillion to start talking about the offensive line. Not only did Coach Osmond of Oak Hill tell us that this team is young, they are also small. So watch this offensive line. Only one player over 200, a lot under 200, but they're getting the job done tonight, both in the run game and in the pass game. And I know that makes Ron Vermillion happy.
You betcha.
Back to you.
You betcha, Randall. And that you don't have to be big to play line.
That is indeed the end of the first quarter of action. Oak Hill is on top 7-0. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second quarter here at WIWU in the Grant County High School football game of the week.
A modernist gem, wonderfully atypical. A small-town architectural mecca, the Athens of the prairie. Yes, travel and architecture writers laud Columbus, Indiana. They marvel at the uncommon encounters of a rich architectural destination situated in a rural setting. The backdrop for inspiration. That's honest-to-goodness Indiana. Plan your getaway at visitindiana.com/Columbus.
On the bench. That one is tipped and it picked off. Intercepted. Way at the 30. The 20's down the sideline. Touchdown. Glenn Corkle.
Yeah.
Back here on a beautiful evening in Fairmount, Indiana, Madison-Grant High School. Second quarter of action. Holtz with the first down carry as we begin the second quarter of action. And a very productive, efficient first quarter for the Oak Hill offense and Clay McCorkle, the quarterback.
Oak Hill had 10 offensive plays for 82 yards. McCorkle, the sophomore, he's not very big. He throws the ball accurately. He doesn't throw it hard, but he throws it accurately. Was 4 for 4 in that first quarter. Madison-Grant, 13 offensive plays, 19 yards, 2 turnovers on interceptions.
That's the big stat right there, the 2 interceptions. Here's the handoff. Holtz with the carry. Gets a nice gain on second down. Picks up 6 yards on that carry and makes it now 3rd and short. Ron, something else we see tonight that we haven't seen in a long time. Grass.
And we were talking out there, we forgot about what grass was. I was telling you that when Eddie Cruz, who coaches at Madison-Grant, was with us out at Marion, he left to come out here right as Marion got the turf. And so he doesn't know anything but grass out here. And, of course, a lot of places in the county have the turf now.
3rd down carry. Holtz is hit at the line of scrimmage. He's driven back, and he is going to be short of that first down mark by just about a yard, if that. And with the ball at that field position, you got to believe Oak Hill's going to go for it here on 4th down.
You sure do. And Dakota Cates for Madison-Grant in his offensive line spot comes across, gets the tackle, does not allow that first down to happen for Oak Hill.
Also saw number 21, Seth Luger, coming in from that defensive back position to get in on that tackle. So it's 4th down. A good yard and a half to go. Holtz, he's hit, and he's not going to make it. The Madison-Grant Argyle defense that time stands up and gets the turnover on downs. Big number 58. I don't have that on my roster here for Madison-Grant, I think, made the first hit. Or is that 59?
Short of the line to gain.
No, we don't
it's
have
at
either.
58. We'll find out from our people here up here in the press box, see if we can get a name on him.
What a big stand there for the Argyle defense. They needed that, and maybe give their offense a little momentum here in the second quarter.
Fourth series now for Madison-Grant, deep in their own territory, and that seems to be where they start.
Here's the handoff. There's a big hole. On his feet, out across the 30. A big gain on first down.
Flag over here on the lineman through the flag. That generally indicates either offside or movement.
We'll wait and see what the officials have to say here.
Guess it's going to be against Oak Hill. Must be offsides Oak Hill.
Okay, it is going
No.
to be a sideline warning
a sideline
on Madison-Grant, so that is only a warning. This play will stand, and that was the biggest offensive play for Madison-Grant.
13-yard pickup.
On first down, here's the handoff to Brooks hands it off, I should say. And there with the carry. That was number 33 for Madison-Grant, Randall Fultz. And again, with this offense, Ron, first possession, you might not pick up 100 yards, but you just keep grinding it, keep moving it, and then the gains go from a yard to 2 to 3 to 5, and occasionally the 13-yard pickup.
You've got to stay with it, too. You can't give up on it just because you're not moving.
Here is the handoff, breaking one tackle, driving through another tackle. On the carry, that time was number 11, Clayton Powell, a sophomore. Cycling a few different backs.
Now that they're close to us, here we see it. He does a nice job, and I'm talking about the quarterback, does a nice job of shuffling the backs coming through, and he gave it really to the first back through, and he picks up 11 yards and another Madison-Grant first down. Well, now we're seeing the Madison-Grant offense that we hoped that the coach would see.
Here's a big gainer on first down. He's going to go at the 20, the 30, the 20, the 10, all the way into the end zone. Taking it the distance for Madison-Grant was Clayton Powell. And that's exactly what we talked about, Ron.
54-yard run. And as he was getting ready to get tackled, Noah Slate for Oak Hill falls down. I hope that we have that on the replay, because it looked like Slate had a beat on him and he fell down, and once he fell down there was nobody there who was going to catch him. 54-yard pickup, big pickup.
That is Gage Davis in now to attempt the extra point. The kick is up. It didn't look good, and it is not good. It was off to the left, but let's take a look at this one more time. And again, the kind of the misdirection, and boy, he almost dropped the football there. But once he had the ball open field, made that man miss, he was gone.
Actually, that was maybe Steve Conrad that fell down. Anyhow, it was your secondary back that fell down for Oak Hill. He had a shot at him, but again, we're on grass tonight. Grass can give way, and for Madison-Grant, it's the best thing that happened.
Ron, that was only a 4-play drive that went about 79 yards, and we didn't tie it up here with the mixed extra point, but Madison-Grant now certainly almost feels like they lost any momentum. They've certainly kind of gotten it back on their side.
13 plays, 19 yards for Madison-Grant in the first quarter. 4 plays, 79 yards, and a touchdown for Madison-Grant in the first 3.5 minutes.
You know, those are the kinds of scenarios when we talk to coaches where they talk about it, you know, a whole team effort or whole team win. That drive, that touchdown started by the big play of their defense on 3rd and short, and then on 4th and short to stop the Oak Hill offense, turn it over on downs. You don't score that touchdown in that scenario unless your defense does the job.
I like what Bradley Turner, head coach for Madison-Grant, did, because Oak Hill brought their outside backers up in effect, gave a 6-man look on the front line, 2 linebackers inside, and he attacked to the outside on that series and got big yards.
On the short kick, Smith along the right sideline has a nice hole, and then the kicker, that's Gage Davis, finally wraps him up and takes him out of bounds, but not until he gets out across the 40-yard line. Wait for the spot, looks to be about the 43.
We always talk every game about the fact that there's 3 components to every team, and that's your offense, your defense, and your special teams. The Oak Hill special team got the ball up to the 43-yard line. That's great field position after they just got stung by Madison-Grant on a 54-yard run, and we're just at a 7-6 game.
Well, the Golden Eagles with their, well, it's a false start, or was it the defense who made the first move?
Yeah, it was the false start. That was Fred Durbin for Oak Hill. He lifted his hand, and they didn't go on the snap, so.
I think it was the wind that blew him off off his stance here, because it's blowing our door open over here in the press box.
Yes, it sure is.
Which I don't mind, it feels good. But we also did get, it's a beautiful night, as we said, but we did get a little bit of a wind kicking up in here. Low snap. Oh, that time Landry Osmond is separated from the pass, and he's going to stay down on the turf for a second.
That, again, was Jimmy Rigney, 6'3", junior for Madison-Grant, who jarred him loose from the ball. What a big hit, and that's Jimmy Rigney's second big hit on Landry Osmond.
Big hit.
Here we see it. Right, and just as it gets there, wow, big hit. Jimmy Rigney.
Good form tackle there by Rigby. Now there's a stoppage of play. And the official's going to walk over here. I'm not sure what he's talking to the head coach about. But might be an issue with the clock, maybe.
Could be.
We're in the second quarter. Oak Hill Golden Eagles on top, 7-6. It's Grant County High School. High school football.
This quarter so far has belonged to Madison-Grant.
It's all Oak Hill first quarter. Here is
got him.
Wide open. Oh, and the wind, I think, carried that football as Clay McCorkle aired that one out.
Nate Alston.
Yeah, Nate Alston, the intended receiver. He was in stride. Ron, I honestly think that wind that is now coming in from the north carried that football.
We have a nice wind. I would guess it probably about 11, 12 miles an hour. Here he just airs it up. Hopefully, I think Austin slows down just a little bit to look for the ball. But I think it was right there if he keeps running.
Well, it's third down now. 3rd and 15. McCorkle will roll out to the right. Fires it. He's got Landry Osmond. Landry Osmond almost makes the catch at the 35. But he's knocked out of bounds, incomplete. So Oak Hill will have to kick it away.
McCorkle came in to this series 4 for 4 in passing. He did not hit on any of the 3. Here we have him going for the first down. He rolls out, actually sprints out, throws the ball up there. Landry Osmond on the near catch, but I think maybe Landry's thinking about where is Jimmy Rigney.
Very high snap. It's pulled down, low line drive punt. And that takes a very, very friendly Oak Hill bounce inside the 30, inside the 20, and all the way down just inside the 10-yard line. For the first time tonight, we're going to check in with Silas Weghorst down on the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Oak Hill really came out strong in that first quarter, but Madison-Grant is not letting themselves get stepped on. They're really putting up a fight with such small numbers, but Oak Hill is continuing to push back against that, but Madison-Grant is definitely holding their ground. Back to you guys.
One of the things we talked about in our production meeting to Brady Turner, the head coach for Madison-Grant, was the fact that he only has, I believe, 27 dressed out here tonight. He has a lot of kids going both ways. They're going to give 100%. But where it makes a toll is in the second half, in particular the fourth quarter. So that's one of the things we'll watch for you as we go through the rest of this game is see if there's any attrition on Madison-Grant.
Well, what a break here for Madison-Grant, as we're going to have a repeated fourth down here. There was a procedure penalty on Oak Hill, and so Madison-Grant says, yep, let's back them up 5 yards and kick it again.
See what the difference. Sometimes 5 yards can make a difference of 15 yards. That ball went all the way down to the 10-yard line of Madison-Grant. Let's see what the moving him back 5, how much difference it makes.
Hayes back to kick it away for Oak Hill once again. Here is the snap. Yes, time again, a low line drive. Another good bounce. Is still rolling. Inside the 30, down to the 19. So it will net, in fact, about 9 yards in favor of the Argyles.
So Madison-Grant defense is doing a nice job.
Yes.
They kind of got run over the first couple of series that Oak Hill had. These last couple of series for Oak Hill, they have not moved the ball. I have one series of 1-6, 1 and 1, and one series of incomplete.
Yeah,
Oak Hill.
After that touchdown pass from McCorkle to Smith, it's been, as you said, a punt. They turned it over on downs. The Oak Hill did, and then of course they kicked it away that time. On first down, here on this drive, they pick up a gain of about 2 yards. Sets up a 2nd and 8.
Watch and see if Oak Hill moves those outside backers back a little bit. Here we see that just off tackle. Nice effort as he steps over 2 guys. And we talk about yards after catch. Well, there's also yards after contact. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Big hole over the middle. And then taking on the tackler, getting it out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. That, I believe, was Mike Stewart with the carry. He's not afraid to
let me tell you
put
what
the
they're
hit
doing.
when he's tackled or take on the tackler.
They have moved 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, and you've got 2 inside backers. Now they're backing them off a little bit because they've got burnt in that counter action because the inside backers are going with the flow.
No running room that time. I believe that was Powell on the carry. Powell, who is the young man who had the big 54-yard touchdown run earlier.
But going back to something Randall King talked about on the sideline with the offensive defensive lines, we can see how much bigger that taller Oak Hill's offensive line is. Madison-Grant, they have to do it by deception and by missed plays, and they're doing a nice job with it.
Stewart with the big carry. Out across midfield, slips the tackler, and finally is hauled down from behind by Rivers Smith, but not before he gets down to the 45-yard line. So another pickup, big pickup by Mike Stewart is another Madison-Grant first down.
Here we see it. It's a counter-action move. There he goes off to the left, cuts it up to the middle, breaks a tackle, comes back to the right, breaks another tackle, and that's what we're talking about, yards after contact. How many yards can you get after that first guy gets you? Well, he got 9 yards.
On first down, no running room on that carry. That time on the carry was Randall Fultz. So no gain, makes it a 2nd down and 10.
We talked about the fact that they're running a lot of counter plays, and if your linebackers don't stay home, which the outside backers now, the outside backer on the other side did not stay home. If he comes across hard and they get through level 1, they're going to break for big yardage.
A little mix up in the backfield there, and I think Brooks is just going to be able to hold on to the football, and he'll be knocked back for a loss of about a yard on that play, but not sure in terms of that misdirection that time. That's a quarterback's mistake or the back's mistake?
Well, I think it was a timing mistake because the Oak Hill line pushed the Madison-Grant line backwards into the quarterback. And when that happens, why Dylan Brooks he doesn't have time to shuffle through the 3 backs.
Big third down here for the Oak Hill defense. See if they can come up with a stop.
They are, I believe, 0 for 3 and two interceptions when they've thrown. So that doesn't seem to be an option at this point.
There's a timeout on the field, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on WIWU TV.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key.
It's Kappa. There we go.
Kappa.
There we go.
Tries it actually works. Now I can maybe actually get some. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. The Crossroads of Life brings people together, and that's what we try to do here each week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. So long.
Do I really want to step into something that's not safe? Do I really want to do something that's uncertain?
The world is desperate for nurses who want to positively impact the world for Christ.
The biggest communication problem is that we do not listen to understand. We listen to respond.
On this big third down play, no gain. And so now it looks like Madison-Grant's going to kick the football away. Stewart on the carry that time, and that time the Oak Hill defense was not fooled. And so, again, a big series right there for that Oak Hill defense. They were giving up some yardage, maybe a little bit of adjustment there by the defensive coordinator, Dave McDivitt, and they came up with the stop.
I liked what he did by moving his outside backers back. That gives them a chance to read that counter play that has been so successful.
Against that wind, that punt is going to be short, and it will go out of bounds. We'll wait for the spot, but it looks like it's going to be outside the 30-yard line. And we're going to spot it at the 31, and so that's where Oak Hill will take over the football.
15-yard punt. That's almost where you'd think, wow, should we just run it again? But into that strong wind that we talked about, maybe 12, 14 miles an hour wind, and that had a definite effect on that punt.
That wind was not like that when we started this football game. Oh, there's a low snap, and Holtz is going to have to just go back there and cover it way back inside the 25 at the 23-yard line. So that was a near disaster for Oak Hill, and that is going to set them back a good 10 yards.
Holtz saved the ball for him, but he takes an 8-yard loss on this by recovering that ball, and it was low. It was absolutely low. Holtz does a nice job of keeping his head and going after the ball, keeps the ball for Oak Hill. Oak Hill needs to make something happen in this series.
Here's the McCorkle run option right. We have not seen that play so far. Holtz with the carry. There is a timeout going to be called here. So Madison-Grant's going to use a timeout with 2:44 to go. We're going to be looking at third and very long. Coach Turner wants to get this football back.
He does. He wants that ball back, see if he can do something with it. Again, though, you're going to see that full house, I'm guessing. And that's a hard one to score very quickly with.
So let's set up the situation here. As we said, 2:44 to go here in the first half of play. It's going to be third down, and let's take a look here. It's going to be about 3rd and 16 for a first down. Oak Hill got on the scoreboard first, their first possession of the football game. They really marched it right down the field. The 5-play, 60-yard drive capped off by that 15-yard touchdown pass from Clay McCorkle to Smith. But then after a couple interceptions, the Madison-Grant Argyle offense kind of got in sync, got in rhythm, and of course they had the big touchdown run. Clayton Powell went 54 yards for the big score. The missed extra point makes it a 7-6 football game. That's where we stand right now.
Look for Clay McCorkle to come out and throw the football. I'm saying that's what has been real successful.
But they're going to have to go back 5 more yards. The thing I've been impressed about Clay McCorkle in this first half, now you said, you know, he doesn't have a rifle of an arm, but his throws and passes are on target, very accurate. Even the long passes. He's
only 150 pounds.
Ball fake. He's got a man wide open as Landry Osmond makes the grab. He's going to have the first down outside the 40 and finally hauled down at the 47-yard line, maybe the 48. But Osmond was wide open on that play.
Big third down play for Oak Hill. And I would have gone to Clay McCorkle to Landry Osmond. Osmond just goes down, beats the level 2. Here is the pass play. And you're going to see Osmond come right at us. Has to slow down just a little bit, or that might have been bigger yardage. 16-yard pickup for Landry Osmond and the Oak Hill Golden Eagles.
Now, Oak Hill did call a timeout on that play. 2:38 to go, or after that play, I should say. It's first down and 10 with 2:38 to go. And now we start the clock.
Good camera work for our guys down there. Seeing Landry Osmond come right at the camera and the ball coming right in on his hands. Landry Osmond, 4 catches in this game already.
Here's the inside hand of Holtz is hit behind the line of scrimmage and taken down right there. Let's see who was that on the tackle. I'm pretty sure it was Mike Stewart.
Yeah, it was Mike Stewart. He's the inside backer in there. Mike Stewart kind of just roams from tackle to tackle. And I tell you what, if you don't block him, he's going to take the guy down. I'm really impressed with the way Mike's played both offense and defense. A 2-yard tackle for loss for Mike Stewart and Madison-Grant.
Under 2 minutes to go. But Oak Hill does have that wind at their back. Rolling to the right, McCorkle stops. And he looked to run for a second. Now he unloads it, has his man complete near the first down marker. The clock will stop as it, I believe, is a first down. The pass was complete to Jacob Winger, number 85.
Another sophomore to sophomore on the sprint out with the line pulling. See the line pull down the line, giving him some, and then Jacob picks it up right there, gets an 11-yard pickup and another first down for Oak Hill.
Minute and a half to go. Holtz on the first down carry. Gets a nice gain of 6. But Oak Hill now trying to make their substitutions quickly. They still do go back into a huddle.
Minute and 15 to go. And I know that's hard for you to see.
Yes. Split out way wide to the left is Mason McKinney. Here's the snap. Rolling to the right. Oh, he's got a man downfield. And that's Osmond coming across the formation who makes the catch and then wisely gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Landry Osmond comes across. Nice protection for Clay McCorkle. Stuart Mossholder back there giving him the big protection. Watch him come back. He pulls. He's waiting, giving that protection. And here comes Osmond across for his 5th catch of this game. Coming in, had 28 catches.
Well, that's a first down, of course, on that play. The ball is at the 17-yard line. Under a minute to play. Now there is another penalty. That might be an offside.
Yes. Madison-Grant called the early timeout thinking they might get the ball back, but Oak Hill put it in gear with 3rd and 16, and they're marching down the field right now, Roger.
So now it's going to be a 1st and 5. The ball goes from the 17 down to the 12. Under a minute to play, 53 seconds to go. Oak Hill does have a couple timeouts left, or I believe 1. Little ball fake. There's a flag down, and McCorkle on the roll just throws it out of bounds. But there was a flag on that far sideline.
And there's a player over there for Oak Hill that's limping off.
Yeah, it's River Smith. Is that 14?
Yes, looks like he something with his hand maybe.
He made the big touchdown catch earlier. Then maybe made a touchdown saving tackle a couple series later.
He's had a nice game for Oak Hill. A lot of guys going both ways for both teams.
Well, where's Landry Osmond? He's lined up in the slot to left. Second down from the 12-yard line, rolling left. Now, McCorkle rolls to the right. He throws it wide open in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Hill.
Good comeback by Clay McCorkle. I don't know if somebody on the sideline was yelling at him to come back, but he does a nice job. I hope we get this on replay because he does a nice job going off to his left. They're covered by two guys, covered by four guys. That left one guy one-on-one, and that was, I believe, Jacob Winger, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was number 85, Jacob Winger, with the touchdown reception. 12 yards from Clay McCorkle with the extra point from Sevier. That makes it a 14-6
Here it is.
Oak Hill lead.
Watch him scramble. Scrambles, and the linemen pick it up, and he's wide open.
And then, of course, the hit just comes a little bit too late. But what a game changer. That third down play earlier in the drive, it was deep in Oak Hill territory. It's 3rd and 16. They pick up 18 yards, keep the drive alive, and then they march it down the field for a touchdown with only 42 seconds left on the clock.
Two things in that drive. Clay McCorkle kept this drive going. The young sophomore, 6 foot, 150-pound quarterback, he keeps the ball going. And like we talked about, he doesn't throw the ball hard, but he throws the ball accurately. And then the receivers that he has, Landry Osmond, the coach's son, he is a senior this year, 155 pounds, 5'9", but great hands. And Jacob Winger, we've seen him catch the ball. We've seen River Smith catch the ball. These three receivers for Oak Hill are very good receivers.
Couple big receptions by different receivers on that drive, and of course mixed in with a few runs from John Holtz. Well, Sevier is in to kick this one away. Now we'll see if Madison-Grant can do anything with 42 seconds to go left in here in the first half. Well, there's been a lot of whistles in this game.
Apparently they're saying we didn't give you the whistle to kick it off.
Sevier has got a pretty good leg for
He
a
does.
sophomore in high school.
And
he's got a good wind behind him.
He punts at times. He doesn't punt all the time, but his kicking game is really very good for a sophomore. And I thought, I didn't say anything at the time, but that first extra point, Landry Osmond did a nice job on a bad snap, and then he did a nice job of stopping his kick and then waiting for it and then getting the ball through the uprights. And that's what you have to have. Young men who are gamers, that when things don't go right all the time, they're there for you.
Well, another whistle. Hey, have you ever watched a water polo match?
Yes.
In the Olympics?
Yes.
I have no idea why, but they're blowing whistles nonstop. There's some kind of foul or violation. We got a water polo game going out in here right now.
You know what? And except nobody's drowning.
That's right.
If I were playing water polo, my kids are great swimmers. My grandkids are great swimmers, but I think I'd probably drown. I swim like somebody's never been taught how to swim, and with my head up.
I'm talking about swimming. There's a couple Oak Hill football players. John Holtz is a pretty good swimmer himself. Of course, a great swim program out there at Oak Hill. Boy, that was a break for Oak Hill as that kick is picked up at the 1. As Clayton Powell is only able to get it out to the 14-yard line.
But the key is he got it out there because he picked that ball up when it was dead. He was waiting for it to roll in, and he only got, and it stopped on the 1. So he picks it up, gets 13-yard pickup off of that, gives him halfway decent. But, you know, I'm thinking maybe you want to kill the clock here and get the ball in this third quarter.
Well, they being the Madison-Grant Argyles have not had much success throwing the football here. And boy, in this situation with the wind in your face, I think you got to keep it on the ground and hope that you might break a big one.
Another one of those counter moves, and just about every play they're running right now is counter. They're bringing two guys off to the left, one guy to the right, or two guys to the right, one guy to the left. In fact, the two guys to the right, one to the left have been the biggest gainers for him. And here we see it right here. Watch him with his head down. Nice extra effort. That yardage of yards after contact, getting about 3 yards after he was hit at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that will do it for the first half of action. Oak Hill with the big touchdown at the close of that first half has the 14-6 lead as we go into the halftime. And Ron, Madison-Grant, though, is in this football game. We've seen them move things on the ground. They've got an opportunity here to make something happen the second half. And the story of the first half, though, for Oak Hill, it's got to be the quarterback play of Clay McCorkle. He has been accurate. He's found Landry Osmond. He's found River Smith. He's found a couple other guys. I think it's the story of the first half for Oak Hill.
That is the story of the first half, and the fact that he is getting good offensive line blocking. The Madison-Grant is moving the ball. They're not having trouble moving the ball, but they've had 2 series that have broken down when they've moved the ball. They had 1 series where they've gotten a touchdown, and this is about what we expected, 14-6 going into halftime.
Well, indeed is halftime. We're going to take a break for our halftime feature. We'll be back right after this on WIWU TV. Welcome back to Madison-Grant High School. We're at the half. The Oak Hill Golden Eagles have the 14-6 lead over the home team, the Argyles of Madison-Grant. It's at half, and it's senior night here, and so we have the introductions of really all the seniors from all the fall sports here at Madison-Grant High School. Well, we have a moment here. A couple scores throughout the rest of Grant County in high school football games tonight. The Marion Giants undefeated on the season at 6-0, and they are well on their way to 7-0. They lead the Muncie Central Bearcats 24-0 at the half. Eastbrook all over Alexandria still in the first half. They are on top 20-0, and Mississinawa all over Frankton 27-0. That game just went into halftime. Mississinawa, of course, has a big showdown looming at the end of the season with Blackford. If both those teams remain or continue to win, I should say, they could face off in the last game of the season for the CIC conference title. Well, here in this ball game, the Oak Hill Golden Eagles got on the scoreboard first in that first half. Clay McCorkle hit Smith on a 12-yard touchdown pass, 60-yard drive completed in 5 plays, and Oak Hill was on top 7-0 to get things on the way. The impressive drive in that first half, and we're going to take a look at some of the highlights of that first half. And yeah, Oak Hill defense was kind of the name of the game, at least on that first drive, as it made it very difficult for Madison-Grant to move the football very effectively. But Madison-Grant later on was able to run the football, and their 1 touchdown of the first half was on this drive. And that was the big play there from Clayton Powell, 54 yards. Excuse me, got me all choked up, Ron, with that the 54-yard touchdown run. Couple big hits in that first half that
here we
Mr.
see some of the plays, some of the highlights, and that one was just, I believe that was in the second quarter. That was a pass that was affected by the wind.
And McCorkle, though, had a great first half.
He did.
Look at this throw. That was right on the money. That time Osmond couldn't hold on to it, but it was right on the money.
Landry Osmond as a receiver is the real deal.
Yeah. You know, and we saw the big play by Powell after that got Madison-Grant on the scoreboard, but they got hurt trying to pass the football.
They did.
Through a couple interceptions. They really just had to stick with it on
This
the
was a
ground. And
great-
they've been effective on the ground.
This was a great play. This is the big plays they have been counters where two of the backs go to the right, the ball carrier goes back to the left, and everybody seems to be going with the ball or with the flow and not watching the counter coming back.
Now, this was a near disaster for Oak Hill, and as the first half was winding down, they had the ball in terrible field position, but on 3rd and long, this was a 3rd and 16 play, and Randall King might win an Emmy for that shot right there.
Yes. And I tell you why that was a great play, because Osmond had been lit up twice, and he waited for that ball to come to him, and that ball was carried by the wind. And I was down on the field with Randall King and with Nathan and some of the others. It's a strong wind.
Yeah, it really
and
is
it is
blowing.
getting cold down there too.
Well, that drive, we didn't see the end of it, but it was capped off because the first half was starting to wind down, and McCorkle did a really nice job just leading his team down the field, marching, hit some big plays, and he spread the football around a little bit, capped that off with a 12-yard touchdown pass to Winger with about 40 seconds to go. But that, to me, that was a huge, huge drive because we had a 7-6 ball game. Less than 2 minutes to go. Madison-Grant thinks they even called a timeout defensively because they think they're going to get the football back. But instead, Oak Hill goes down and scores.
They called it timeout right before that play, and they're thinking they're going to, it is 3rd down and 16, and McCorkle puts it out there to Landry. Landry picks up 18 and a first down, and they go on down then and score with about 42 seconds left. So the idea at that point, Coach Turner for Madison-Grant was thinking, we're going to stop them here on a 3rd and 16. So that might be the play of the game. Certainly it was the play of the first half when McCorkle to Landry Osmond connected for that 16 yards.
My question, though, Ron, is can Madison-Grant generate enough offense if they can't throw the football a little bit more effectively than they have in that first half? I mean, their run game has picked up some big plays here or there, but sooner or later you think they got to be able to pass the ball a little bit more efficiently to maybe, make this Oak Hill defense play a little bit more honest.
Well, I think what Oak Hill's going to do is they're going to keep their outside backers back, and they're going to do what we call spy. They're going to cross key from, if you're on the right side, cross key to the left. Watch for that counter coming back, because they didn't do it very well in the first half, and they gave up some big yardage. If they cross key, they will stop that counter, and that will stop a big part of Madison-Grant's offensive game. On the other hand, Madison-Grant's defense did a nice job for 4 series against Oak Hill, but then when Oak Hill needed that drive and got that big play, then they got it, and they pretty much just took it away from Madison-Grant. So as we go out, I think the first series for Madison-Grant on offense has got to be something productive for them to give them some confidence to win this senior day football game.
Well, you talked about the Madison-Grant defense. We're going to talk a little bit more about them, but first we're going to take a break. You're watching the Grant County High School football game of the week on WIWU TV.
Several starters on the bench. That one is tipped and it picked up, intercepted, back the other way at the 30, the 20, down the sideline.
So is Lysander.
Himself, he is. But in this time, wanting your father's voice, the other must be held the worthy.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key, and as you can see, we're not stuck in the studio anymore.
It's faster than you think.
just about ready to kick off the second half of action here. And Ron, talk a little bit more about that Madison-Grant defense, because there were several series in the middle of that first half where they played pretty good. I mean, they had a couple 3-and-outs. Oak Hill one time was 4-and-out. They went for it on 4th down, but the Argyle defense stood up strong, made a great stop. And so, you know, you kind of had the feeling that maybe they were at least, I don't want to say had the momentum, but they had kind of weathered the storm in that first drive. But 3 drives in the middle, they played really well, but bookended by a first drive from Oak Hill and a last drive that were great drives that got touchdowns.
Yeah, I really think the Madison-Grant defense has got to come out, and they've got to they came out in what I would call a 3-3 when they first started this game, and Oak Hill just ripped them on it. And that's when Holtz got a lot of his yardage. And then they brought an extra man up, and that kind of stopped things, but stopped the running game. But they still haven't stopped the passing game for Oak Hill.
We're going to go downstairs and Randall King on the Madison-Grant sideline.
Thanks, Roger. With Coach Brady Turner, I know the score is 14-6. There's some points you would have liked to have gotten back there, but you have to like the effort of your students coming back after some losses, some tough play.
Yeah, we made some mistakes there in that first half. Hopefully we correct them. If we do that, we ought to be all right.
You said the other day in the Alexandria game you were really pleased with the play of the defense. Are you seeing that same kind of effort tonight?
We got to stop them in the passing game, but we're handling the run game pretty good. But that second quarter there, they kind of threw all over us. We got to fix that and get better.
Any guess if the wind's going to shut down that passing attempts?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to throw into it. When they got it, they're going to probably throw it quite a bit more. But we'll see.
All right, thank you, Coach Brady Turner. Roger.
Thank you, Randall King. And you know, that wind was a big factor in that final drive in the second half. It really wasn't an issue in the first quarter. All of a sudden, it just kind of kicked up. And it certainly, you don't see that drive that Oak Hill has maybe close out the first half if they're going from south to north.
I tell you what, it looks, as you just look at the picture right now, you see Oak Hill warming up for the second half, and Madison-Grant's already come off. But you don't see the wind.
Right.
The wind is the unseen either helper or hurt you. And if you're going from our right to our left, it's going to help you. Mm-hmm. If you're going from our left to the right on the screen, you're throwing into about a 14-mile-an-hour wind, and that's a tough wind to throw into. Mm-hmm. So Madison-Grant's only thrown 3 or 4 times. They've had 2 interceptions, and I don't believe they've completed a pass. So it's according which way they start out. I don't believe they'll get out of that straight tee that they're running. So they're going to have to open some big holes and do more than just try to run counters. They're going to have to run some what we call leaves with 2 backs blocking for the ball carrier, or as the one thing that happened, run the quarterback and let the other 3 guys block.
Well, Oak Hill won the toss at the onset of this football game. They deferred it to the second half, so they will, I would assume, take that kick. We'll see which direction Madison-Grant, I would imagine, would want that wind in the fourth quarter.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Right now, they're going to kick into it, and they don't need to go that deep because that wind will stop that ball about at the 30-yard line. That's something they're going to have to run up on or let the up backs take the ball.
And, you know, it was a beautiful afternoon, gorgeous day. And I would say the temperature has dropped easy, 15 degrees.
And they're talking about it getting down towards 40 tonight. So it's just a fall night. It's a hitter's night, and we've seen 2 big hits. I tell you what, Jimmy Rigney hit Landry Osmond as hard as I've seen anybody get hit this year.
Yeah, he took a big wallop, but got up. Gage Davis to kick it away for Madison-Grant. You would think he's just going to have to keep this ball low and as near the turf as possible. Well, he gets underneath a little bit. It's a short kick, bounce at 25. That's a free ball. No one picked it up for Oak Hill, and finally it's taken back inside the 20 at the 18. I didn't see who finally made the the play for Oak Hill, but that was a near disaster.
And I think maybe as we watch him come here, see, he misses this.
That was number 21, Josiah Harvey.
33 is there too. We've called those guys.
Wow. Boy, if Harvey does not get back there and get that football, Madison-Grant was all over that play. Oh, big hole for Holtz. Holtz has a big gainer out across the 35 and out to the 41-yard line. So on the first down run, John Holtz with his biggest gain of the day.
A 27-yard pickup on his first carry of the second half. I think what we saw here was a trap. Let's see it. Watch the guard pull. There he goes. 75 goes across, pins the guy, and I tell you what, that was a big trap block for number 75, Stuart Mossholder, and he's the one that made that happen.
Another big gainer for Holtz. Boy, he almost broke another one. He lost the football at the very end, but Jonah Johnson was there to make the stop, but not after another Oak Hill first down. So 2 carries, 2 first downs for Oak Hill.
Yeah, 38 yards and 2 carries for Holtz, and what a nice job he's done. But we talked at halftime about the fact that this offensive line for Oak Hill is the difference in this ball game. The fact that when they get that blow out of there and that trap really looked good, that was a big play for them.
Yeah. In motion, Smith, now Osmond. That is their pitch to Osmond, right side. He has a little bit of a hole. He's upended as he gets inside the 45, down at the 42-yard line.
If Osmond gets a block over there, and I don't want to point him out, but John Holtz, those other guys have been blocking for John. John misses a block right here, and then another block. If both of those guys get a block, that's a touchdown.
Yeah. The Oak Hill Golden Eagles have come out here in the third quarter, running the football with a purpose, and they have been doing a great job up front. There's another big hole for Holtz. Picks up the first down, and you mentioned it, but we got to say their names. You know, Mossholder inside there, Bradley Rossman, number 54, Travis Dowling, kind of the interior of that offensive line for Oak Hill.
Watch Mossholder pull again. Look at that pin he gets on the end. Holtz turns the ball up and gets 10 yards on the carry. Again, at the point of attack, it is Stuart Mossholder pinning the end to the outside.
Here's the handoff, left side this time. Oh, there's a cut back to the middle of the field from John Holtz. Big gain on first down. Well, I'll tell you what, Oak Hill coming out here in the third quarter, they are really running the ball hard.
Nice cut right here.
Just get a feeling that was a fired up locker room for Oak Hill. That,
yeah,
they
I
want to
think
come out here and make a
Coach
statement.
Osmond was not happy with the performance the first half, and particularly from the running game. And that's all on the offensive line, that running game.
This time, McCorkle, the quarterback, is going to keep it. He is very close to that first down marker.
Isaac Cooper on the pull down, the tackle. We see the sideline where the coaches are trying to figure out what can they do now to stop this running game for Oak Hill. And we're in a 3rd and, 5 or 6 inches?
Yeah, it's going to be officially 3rd and 1, but just about the length of the football needed. Holtz has the hole, right side, first down yardage and more as he gets inside the 15 down to around the 13-yard line. This drive started back at the 18, and every one of the plays on this drive has been a running play for Oak Hill, and they are just really just churning up yards right now.
As many as 27 on a carry. Most of them around the 10 and 11 yard, and they're just ball controlling right now. They're running this clock.
9th play of the drive. Holtz this time hit the backfield, spins away on his feet, and he's going to go in the end zone for the touchdown. Boy, some missed tackles there by that Madison-Grant defense, but credit John Holtz for keeping the legs moving, and he goes into the end zone for the score, 15 yards, and now Oak Hill has a 2-touchdown lead.
Well, they came out of the locker room, and I think they listened to what Coach Osmond must have said, because they came out with a new purpose, and the running game was just superior against this Madison-Grant defense.
Sevier with the kick. It is up. It is good. And now it's a 21-6 Oak Hill lead. And once again, just watch him break tackles here.
That's yards after contact. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he gets 15 yards after he's hit the first time, gets touched 2 or 3 more times. Holtz have come out and run with purpose.
The Oak Hill coaches have to be happy with that drive.
I think he probably told John Holtz, I'm going to run you until you show me you can't run anymore, because he came out and ran every play, I believe. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays, 82 yards for.
Let's check in downstairs with Randall King.
Gentlemen, the Madison-Grant Argyles came out with a lot of energy, a lot of encouragement on the sideline, but nothing like Oak Hill drive to kind of kill that mood just a little bit. I'm standing next to Scott Hunt here for the Chronicle Tribune. He said 77 yards rushing from Oak Hill just on that drive to open the second half. That is really kind of a dagger at this point for Oak Hill to Madison-Grant and their enthusiasm. Roger?
Mark Sevier in to kick this one away for Oak Hill. Time for Madison-Grant. They're going to have to try to respond here. There's a short kickoff. It's fumbled and then picked up.
Wow.
Boy, wrapped up back inside the 20. Boy, that was not a long kick. In fact, it was rather short, but no return on the play there for Madison-Grant, and so they're going to start in difficult field position back about the 15.
Kean Height got down there on the coverage. Here you're going to see 31 Kean Height. I believe Stephanatis will be there too. Well, he got there a little. It was actually Braden Wagner who got there second. You may have trouble seeing this.
Here is the inside handoff. A gain of just a couple of yards, maybe only one actually, on that first down play.
And for those fans out there who didn't see the first half, Madison-Grant comes out and then 2 tight ends, 3 backs in the backfield, and it's the old straight T offense from the 1950s. And here you're going to see it. And they come off and they run between the tackles primarily. You get 2 guys blocking up front for him, but Oak Hill's there. Oak Hill has made an adjustment bringing those outside backers back so they don't get caught in the counter that they caught in the first half.
I believe it's Johnson with the carry this time. Not much room there at all. I don't even know if he picked up any yardage there. Maybe third. Actually, that was Powell with the carry on that second down play. So now we'll take a look at a 3rd and 8.
I don't know what they're going to run now because they've just taken away their counter, which is their big yardage.
Yes.
They've taken away the counter. And unless they get caught, if they're not cross-keying, which I see them cross-key right now, well, we're going to see another pass.
Rolling to the right, hemmed in, and then taken down. The tackle made there. That was Evan Pierce making the play for Oak Hill. And so on the rollout, Dylan Brooks, just not enough running room there.
Dylan Brooks, here he comes right at the camera, and he tries to outrun, and there's too many guys there. Another nice tackle, and that nice tackle came from Braden Rossman, who has 67 tackles coming in.
Okay, it was Smith and then Rossman. I said Pierce initially. Here is the punt. High kick that is just going to be caught up by that wind. It's going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 41 or 42 yard line.
And all I can say, it's a good thing that ball went out of bounds, because as soon as it hit, it went backwards about 15 yards. And it was already out of bounds, so that didn't hurt him any.
There's 6:45 to go here in the third quarter. Oak Hill has the football now in great field position. They're already in Madison-Grant territory. The ball is going to be marked at the 39-yard line.
This is where Oak Hill needs to establish the fact that they're going to win this game. They're ahead 21-6. They just scored a touchdown on 8 straight plays of running. And here you see Holtz again.
Holtz hit in the backfield, but is able to fight forward. Picks up about a half a yard. And it'll be second down.
What I saw was the lineman pinching down, and that's the way to stop that inside game, is have your linemen pinch to the middle and have your backers fill those gaps. They're in a gap control situation where everybody fills a gap, 7 gaps along the line of scrimmage.
There's Holtz on the inside him, stutters a step, then gets it inside the 25, inside the 20 before he's brought down after the big gain. And now Ron Oak Hill with their running game, they're picking up bigger and bigger chunks of yardage on their carries.
We talked about the fact that Madison-Grant carries, it does a lot of guys 2 ways. Nice touchdown save for Madison-Grant by Jackson Thompson. And I think what you're seeing is Madison-Grant starting to wear down a little bit. The bigger size of Oak Hill is just mowing them over just a little bit.
This time, that right side of the Argyle defense, Gage Davis, along with some others, just catches Holtz in the backfield. He's going to lose a couple of yards.
Well, I could be wrong here, but that's 11 straight runs for John Holtz. I suppose we're going for 12 straight runs.
After the loss of about 3 yards on that play, it will be second down and 13. And now, with 5:24 to go here in the third quarter, Oak Hill wants a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Watching high school football on WIWU TV.
A modernist gem, wonderfully atypical. A small-town architectural mecca, the Athens of the prairie. Yes, travel and architecture writers laud Columbus, Indiana. They marvel at the uncommon encounters of a rich architectural destination situated in a rural setting. The backdrop for inspiration. That's honest-to-goodness Indiana. Plan your getaway at visitindiana.com/Columbus.
On the bench, that one is tipped and it picked off, intercepted. Way at the 30, the 20, down the sideline. Touchdown!
On second down, McCorkle goes toward the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown! Caught that. Who was that? Number 27. That's Mason McKinney with the touchdown. And Oak Hill now has blown this game wide open. They lead 27-6.
Go route as Mason McKinney on his split end spot goes straight down. We talked about Clay McCorkle. He doesn't have a strong pass. It is not a hard pass, but it is an accurate pass, and that's the one thing about him. He will get better. He will get stronger as a sophomore. He's a sophomore now, but.
And extra point is up and good by Sevier. Actually, it is no good, but this is the 3rd touchdown pass of the night for Clay McCorkle, this time to Mason McKinney.
What a good comeback. It's almost like a back shoulder throw, but I'm not sure if he meant it to be a back shoulder throw. But anyhow, McKinney comes back for the ball and does a nice job bringing it in. Mason McKinney, another sophomore, 6'3", 155 pounds. How can you be 6'3" and only weigh 155 pounds? But he will grow into that body. Got good hands right now, and we've seen 3 or 4 receivers for this Oak Hill team with good hands. They know how to catch the ball, but the ball that comes their way is kind of an easy ball to catch because it's not hard on the hands.
Well, we'll see if the Argyles on the offensive side of football can get something going here on offense. But as you mentioned, Ron, Oak Hill has been able to make some adjustments on defense. They've slowed down that running game for Madison-Grant. And then when they've turned the football over to their offense, Oak Hill's marched right down the field, and their offense is clicking right now.
And I don't know what Madison-Grant can do at this point because they're in an offense that's locked to a running game.
There's a low line drive. One is bobbled, but now Powell picks it up. Gets it out across the 15-20. Then he is taken down hard. And once again, with the spectacular play on the tackle is my man, Max Stephanatis.
Stephanatis, and I apologize for mispronouncing his name. Saw a flag over there on the far side against Madison-Grant, it looks like. Nice hit. Wow, another nice hit. We've seen some good crisp hits there tonight.
There was another Eagle in on that tackle. I didn't catch who that was. So we'll give Max all the credit.
Well, Max did do a lot of the hitting.
Well, but that's, good tackling is team tackling. It's, someone's wrapping up, someone's cleaning up, and
that's what you're looking for is to get more than one guy on the ball when the ball carrier is carrying the ball, at least one or two. And as we saw with Marion last week, there were a lot of times 6 and 7 guys.
Powell on the carry that time. Maybe a half a yard on that carry.
I like what Oak Hill's doing in there. Looks to me like they're not really, they're not blitzing any bit, but everybody is getting to a gap.
Yeah.
And everybody's staying in that gap. And because they're staying in that gap, there's nowhere for that ball carrier to go.
Now we'll call it 2nd down and 9 after a gain of just 1 yard on that first down play. About 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and the carry that time working the right side. Not much there. The tackle made by number 51 of Oak Hill. That's Fred Durbin in on the tackle.
Looked like River Smith came up too.
But Smith has played a nice football game.
Watch this as they make an adjustment. Here comes up Height.
Kean Height.
And what they did was they dropped the outside backer back and brought because they ran. They knew what was coming.
Well, now it's 3rd and 7. Working with that inside carry, still on his feet, plowing forward. I think he's going to be short of that first down marker, but not short by a lot. That was Powell on the carry. And if you're Madison-Grant, I know it's your own 20-yard line, but it's 4th and very short. I see no reason why not to go for it.
You're less than 1.
You have to score some points.
I'd say quarterbacks sneak here because you got a quarterback with decent size. But they are going to pinch into the middle, so you better do something other than run it up the middle.
Here's the handoff. Stewart is going to be hit, and he's going to be knocked back, and in fact, he's going to lose a yard. And who is it at the bottom of that pile for Oak Hill?
Rossman.
Rossman is down there. I think also number 75, Stuart Mossholder. We've talked about him a little bit.
Maybe Height. But here you see them. They're pinching down. You are not going to move those big guys off because they're pinching down. And right there, even though he got his head low, the Oak Hill guys got it a little bit lower than he got it and stood him up right there.
Well, so the Oak Hill defense turns the Argyles over on downs. They'll have the football with 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter. An outstanding field position inside the 20-yard line. And it was a bit of a gamble, obviously, for Coach Turner, but kind of a gamble he had to take right there. On the play action, on the pump fake, now McCorkle's going to run to the right. He's going to tuck it in. He's at the 10. He's just going to sit down at about the 6-yard line. Let's check in with Randall King down on the sidelines.
See a lot of intensity die here was that Oak Hill Madison-Grant tried to convert there on that 4th and 1 after just getting thwarted multiple times at the line. A lot of yelling by the coaching staff, as you might expect. Some confusion on players' parts, too, that led to that. Another devastating part, even though here in the 3rd quarter. Roger?
Here is Holtz on the carry. Working the right side, slips one tackle. He's diving and into the end zone for the touchdown. I didn't think he was going to get it at first, but he made that extra move, and John Holtz scores his 2nd touchdown of the night.
John Holtz had 55 carries for 393 yards coming into this game. And this young man, especially in this 3rd quarter, is lighting it up. He is close to 100 yards, I'm guessing, in this 3rd quarter alone, because he's done everything except the 1 touchdown pass.
Well, here's Sevier in for the extra point. This one is right down the middle, and now that makes it a 34-6 ball game. And there you see the touchdown on the carry from John Holtz. And a frustrated Brady Turner right there, because I think he felt his team was improving, making strides, getting better, and after the big play in the 1st quarter where they got the touchdown, it certainly felt like they were into this ball game. It's been all Oak Hill since then.
Well, again, when guys play both ways, it's hard, especially when you're on defense a lot, to keep them up. And looks like Coach Turner is trying to figure out what can he do now to get his team back in this ball game. But just quite frankly, Oak Hill has come out with the offensive line has been unreal with the way they've been blowing guys off the line. And then John Holtz, he does not stand very long in one spot, and he has run I believe he's carried the ball maybe 11 times this quarter.
Here's Sevier with the kick. It's boy, that was touched at about the 3-yard line. Here's Powell out across the well, no, he's going to be short of the 15-yard line.
That's where they've been getting the ball this quarter. And you know, when you give the ball up to to Oak Hill in your own territory, and you're getting the ball on offense around the 10 to 15-yard line, it's not anything advantageous to your team now with what's going on in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it's been very bad field position here in the 3rd quarter. And again, to start this drive inside their own 15-yard line. Well, the handoff, and that 3rd man through. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That was Fultz. Randall Fultz has had a couple carries tonight.
Madison-Grant's biggest gain in this quarter has been 7 yards. They've had a couple at 0, a couple at 1, 1 at 2. So 4 carries for 15 yards is not going to get it done.
Here's Brooks under center. Brooks is going to keep it, rolls to the right, turns it up, and he's got some running room. And let's see, this is a foot race. Can Landry Osmond catch him? He will. Oh, he spins out of that tackle and gets it inside the Oak Hill territory down to the 35-yard line. So Dylan Brooks with the big play there and brings this Madison-Grant crowd to life here with a nice run.
And a big play it was, about 51 yards. I believe 51 yards on that carry. It was just a quarterback keeper, and it's run your backs to the left, come out, and you're right. It was a foot race. Osmond had the angle. He got the cutoff, and then a touchdown save by Josiah Columbus, a senior for Oak Hill.
Well, under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Stewart with the carry. Oh, Stewart was maybe 1 tackle away from making a big play there. And not a bad gain on that 1st down play. Brings up about a 2nd and 3, long 3 there, but nice gain on 1st down.
Here you see Stewart on the counter play, and they're still running that counter, going back off the left, yards after contact. He had about 3 yards, and he ends up with 7 because he gets 4 more by putting his head down and carrying people.
Foltz with the carry there. He's going to be short of that first down. 4-down territory, obviously, here for Madison-Grant. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
You've got to, if you're the outside backer for Oak Hill, you've got to watch. You're not only cross-keying to the other side, but you've got to watch straight out. And the outside backer for Oak Hill did not see the bootleg coming out.
Here's a pitch. Right side, Stewart. He'll have the first down as he gets it. Well, let's see where he's going to be marked down. Close to, well, inside the 22 now, almost to the 21-yard line. But
quick pitch out to Stewart. Stewart gets a nice block here. Nice block, and he turns up off the block, picks up 5 yards and a first down for Madison-Grant.
He's a little bit slow getting up that time. Oh, the handoff right up the middle that time. That was Johnson with the carry.
That was first back through, and it didn't go anywhere. Really, 2 things have gone for him. The counter plays and then the quarterback keeper. And whenever they've only run the quarterback keeper just a couple times, and but whenever they've run it, it's gone for good yardage.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll see if the Argyles can cap off this drive when we come back. High school football on WIWU.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key.
It's Kappa. Here we go. Here we go.
Tries it actually works. Now I can maybe actually get some. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. The Crossroads of Life brings people together, and that's what we try to do here each week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. So long.
Do I really want to step into something that's not safe? Do I really want to do something that's uncertain?
The world is desperate for nurses who want to positively impact the world for Christ.
The biggest communication problem is that we do not listen to understand. We listen to respond.
Grant's got about 200 yards.
Back here for the 4th and final quarter of action. Madison-Grant has the football inside Oak Hill territory. Big gainer inside. Let's see, inside the 15. We'll see where they mark it down. Landry Osmond finally makes the tackle on Stewart.
Hey,
Ball's going to be
let's
marked
give him
down
an
at the
11-yard
9.
pickup.
Yep.
And again, counter. Watch him go to the right with 2 backs and bring Mike Stewart back to the left.
Here is the handoff. Foltz this time close to the end zone as he gets it down inside the 5. So obviously the best drive of the second half for the Argyles. They'll have 2nd down and goal. The ball is about the 2-yard line. It's very difficult, quite frankly, to see from this spot in the press box, but it looks like about the 2-yard line.
I think so.
There's the handoff
And
to
that's
Stewart, and he gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, Madison-Grant puts together the drive, and they take it. That was almost, 86 yards of that drive started back at the 14-yard line. The big play being that 50-yard run by the quarterback, Dylan Brooks, and they're able to get some momentum there on that drive. And they take it the distance for the touchdown, and now the extra point to come. Now they're going to go for 2. Here is Brooks rolling out, throwing, had his man incomplete. I believe Isaac Cooper was the intended receiver. That makes it a 34-12 ball game.
As far as 3-quarter
Here's
goes,
the touchdown, Ron. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
That was Michael Stewart.
Michael Stewart, and he just runs it off to the left, and he goes off to the left, bowls his way in.
Let's check in once again downstairs with Randall King.
Well, I don't know if it was the chill or the wind, but one thing in that third quarter, the Oak Hill attack really took the crowd out of this game for Madison-Grant on senior night. But that quarterback keeper ignited them once again. It may still be a very, very lopsided score, but on senior night, they're pretty excited about that. They're seeing life out of the Madison-Grant Argyles. You just wonder where that quarterback keeper was earlier. Roger?
Right, I think everyone knows, the struggles that Madison-Grant had in football over the last couple of years, but I mean, this team has improved. They beat, I believe it was Alexandria. So they have the win on the schedule. You see different times where they put together good drives, but they certainly have improved.
And Brady Turner was not named head coach till after the season started. He's building this on 6 seniors, 27 total, and to still hang in there with Oak Hill like they have. Oak Hill just ran it down their throat twice, and they came back, and they've got a touchdown as an answer.
Well, Ron, do you think Oak Hill is expecting an onside kick here? Everybody's up except one, and then that is a kick that is going to actually go back to Foltz. Gets it out. Good. Oh, my goodness. He's still on his feet out across midfield and inside Madison-Grant territory. So John Holtz, excuse me. I said Foltz, but John Holtz. Boy, he does what a returner is supposed to do. You get the football, you pick a hold, and you go.
And he ran hard. Here we see him. Looked to me like he maybe got a face mask right here. Let's see. Yeah, well, maybe not.
I didn't see it on there.
But anyhow, John Holtz has a super second half, somewhere around 100 yards of rushing in the second half, and then a great kickoff right there. Oak Hill back in great field position. In fact, I think every time they've gotten it this half has been in Madison-Grant territory.
Fox, another sophomore now in at that tailback position. Blake Fox with the carry. Let's go back. That first Oak Hill drive, they started 18. They went 82 yards, but after that, everything has been the 39-yard line, the 19-yard line, and now the 46-yard line starting in Madison-Grant territory.
Unbelievable good territory. But right now, Oak Hill's line is winning. It doesn't really matter where they're starting because they're winning the battle up front, which is moving the ball.
Blake Fox will stay in at tailback for Oak Hill. Little play action. McCorkle, he's going to be taken down in the backfield, and that time the tackle made by number 1, Isaac Cooper.
Isaac Cooper's had a nice job. And here again, he's another young man that goes both ways. 6'2", senior.
That time the play action really didn't fool anybody, and Johnson with the tackle for loss. So now the Oak Hill Golden Eagles are looking at third and a long 12, maybe even 13 yards.
I think that quarterback's got Madison-Grant fired up, touchdown.
And they come with the blitz out here in the flat. Pass is completed. Nice move to block. Here is Smith. Smith still on his feet. Still on his feet at the 20, makes another move. And finally hauled down from behind at the 14-yard line.
That is what high school football is all about. That kind of effort is what high school football is all around. He has had a real nice game. We've talked about him offensively. We've talked about him defensively. But River Smith, watch him cut back here. He gets hit. He gets hit. He gets touched. He gets hit. He gets hit. 7 different times a Madison-Grant guy had
I think it was finally defensive lineman Dakota Cates who comes from behind and tracks him down. But again, another big conversion on third down for Oak Hill. Fox with the carry. Gets it down in about the 11-yard line. Then there is a very late flag on the play.
I think we had some extracurricular activities, and I don't know if they're going to call it a hold, if they're going to call it personal foul. Don't know what they are going to call it.
Right before that third down play, I was kind of thinking to myself, and I didn't say it, but can Oak Hill pass the ball on third down with the wind in their face? And it was a safe pass, but again, a nice, a perfectly thrown ball, a touch pass, that allows River Smith to catch the ball in stride and make the move.
Again, that's Clay McCorkle throwing the ball.
We saw the penalty is going to be on Oak Hill, and I don't see it's going to be an offsetting
it's going to
penalty.
be a 15-yarder personal foul.
Well, so that'll march the Eagles back outside the 25 to 26-yard line. Now it's going to be second down, and goodness.
I think what
20.
happened was the lineman blocked a guy and knocked him over, got a pancake block, and just kept driving on him while he was laying on the ground.
McCorkle's going to roll out to his left. He's still looking. He's still looking. Now there's a flag on the play. And, there's going to be a second flag as McCorkle was tackled about 3 yards out of bounds. So I think we're going to have a hold and then a personal foul late hit.
And that would offset each other. And McCorkle took a pretty good hit over there out of bounds. I think he let up as he got out of bounds. And he's saying, oh, my gosh, did you catch that license number of that truck that hit me? Right here, he does a nice – it's hard to go off to your left if you're a right-handed thrower.
Not sure, you can't see it over there, but after this is all sorted out, excuse me.
I'm just, is it calling it a dead ball afterwards? So they're going to call it a hold and take the 10 and then give him 15. To me, it's offsetting penalties, but
the officials talking this over with Coach Bud Osmond over there. Now we'll wait to see. We're still waiting for the signal. Well, again, I believe we had a hold, and then clearly we had a personal foul. Now the official is going to come over to the other sideline and talk to Coach Brady Turner.
Well, the official's marking off the 10 yards right here.
Yes. So if they mark off the 15, does that make it an Oak Hill first down after the personal foul?
Should with the personal foul.
All right. We have block in the back. That's the first call. And then we have the dead ball personal foul on Madison-Grant.
That should be a first down.
And now we're saying it's second down, though. The official is going to say it's second down.
Because he got further than that on the run.
Yeah, very interesting. Well,
okay, no play. No play, we'll just mark off penalties. It's a net 5-yard penalty.
I was going to say, after all of that, the net of that is a pickup of 5 yards for Oak Hill. Now still second and very long. We're going to say it's about second, 24 yards now. So we'll see what the Eagles decide to do here. 8 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Here we go with McCorkle on the roll to the right. He's still on the roll. He's going to tuck it in and slide safely into second base or the 25-yard line.
He's been watching those pro games. The pro quarterbacks, they slide in, they can't touch them, and about a 2-yard pickup.
So that sets up a third down. And good coverage that time by that Madison-Grant defense, because McCorkle certainly had plenty of time there to throw the football, and just nobody open.
The thing he did, Roger, was he stayed in bounds. That clock is running.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing.
River Smith moves over to the left side of the formation. Play action to Fox. McCorkle under pressure. He's going to throw it on the run. He finds his man, River Smith. River Smith fighting towards that first down marker. I think he's going to be just a little bit shy, but again, good job by the quarterback, Clay McCorkle, to create a little bit of a play there and give River Smith the football in a place where he can make a move.
25-yard pickup. It was third and 26. Now it's a very doable 4th and 1. Watch him scramble a little bit, step up in the pocket, and then move a little bit off to his left, and he gets the ball down there. What a nice play that was.
Well, on 4th and 1, Oak Hill goes for it. The handoff to Fox, and he's going to be hit and driven back. Madison-Grant stands up and making the play inside for Madison-Grant that time. Looked like it was number 74, Dakota Cates, I believe. But the Argyles come up with the big play on 4th down and hold, and they turn it over on downs.
Madison-Grant could have quit on this series because they got the big 35-yard pickup and then a 25-yard pickup, but they didn't quit, and now the ball belongs to them. Right? Oh, wow.
A great job by that Madison-Grant defensive line that time. You know, the good news, you take it over on downs. The bad news, you're back, at your own 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Actually, it's going to be, the ball's at the 4. First down carry.
Stewart. I tell you what, Stewart has run this ball and run it a lot, and he'll be a tired young man by the time this game's over, and he'll be going to bed real quick tonight.
Take a look at this first down carry once again. You know, you talked about how hard he's been running the football. He, of course, made some big plays on the defensive side. There's the first, I believe that was the first completed pass of the evening for Madison-Grant. Nice looking play, picks up the first down out across the 25 to 26. And that pass was completed. Might have been the number 12 Cody Buster, I believe.
17-yard pickup. You're right. That's the first completed pass, I believe, of the ball game for Madison-Grant. But you're in an offense that doesn't throw the ball.
Argyles would love to put together about a 96-yard drive here. There on the first down, though, Stewart, not much running room there at all. Right side of the Oak Hill defensive line, making the stop, and now there's like an injured Argyle down on the turf, down on the grass. And is that Stewart? Yeah, that's the guy who's been the bell cow here for Madison-Grant, and certainly not a good sight for them.
Still have a lot of starters in for Oak Hill on defense. Certainly Madison-Grant starters are trying to. Right here we see that play. Good play once again by Bradley Rossman, who is the leading tackler with probably over 70 tackles now. And Stewart, who's had a lot of opportunity to run the ball, has run very hard, has taken a lot of hits, but kept on ticking, I guess is what the Energizer Bunny would say. And you can see right now it looks like he's
yeah, we'll see if Stewart's able to get back into this football game. So now Madison-Grant will be looking at a 2nd down and 12 here with Stewart out of this contest. You still have Foltz back there, and you have Jonah Johnson. Of course, Clayton Powell had the big run, but Stewart was your power back, so to speak. Oh, a big hit. That was Height. Kean Height. Making all of Minnesota proud on that tackle.
Oh, wow. You know, you don't want to hang your receiver out like that. We'll see him, and the ball just kind of floats out there, giving Heights a chance to get out there, and watch this hit. Boom! Wow. He'll be feeling that tomorrow morning.
Parents Jeremy and Jennifer, Indiana Wesleyan University grads.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Sure.
Fountain of information here tonight. On the rollout to the right, Dylan Brooks, his intended receiver is Isaac Cooper, but it's incomplete. And so now it's going to be fourth and way long, 4th and 12. And I think Madison-Grant's just going to have to kick it away in this.
We're down to 5 minutes and 40 seconds in this ball game. And Madison-Grant down 34-12, but they haven't quit. That's the thing. We saw them get down 34-6, and they came back and had a nice series that came back, and then they came back defensively and had a nice series. Now they had a chance again, but this time they were stopped. But they haven't quit.
Well, remember, this drive started all the way back to the 4-yard line. They were able to pick up that first down, but that punt is wind-aided, but it goes way out of bounds, and it's going to be marked out of bounds. Oh, inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
That went all the way out to the track.
And it is no exaggeration to say tonight that the temperature has dropped at least, would you say 15, 20 degrees since the kickoff?
Yeah.
It's not bitter cold out, but it was a nice
it was around 70 degrees when we started, and the wind has made it cold.
Sure
It's a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind all the time. You know, Oak Hill is now into the wind. Madison-Grant had it with them this quarter, but I think we're going to see the ball run a lot to run this clock down.
Blake Fox still in there for the Oak Hill Golden Eagles, and look at that run by Blake Fox as he picks up the first down and gets it inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Another sophomore for this Golden Eagles.
16-yard pickup for Fox, and again, right here we see, right there he was hit again, and he gets 16 yards. He gets 10 yards after the first hit.
Seth Luger in on the tackle for the Argyles on that play, but it is an Oak Hill first down. Corkle has gone the entire way at quarterback. Again, Fox slips a tackle inside the 20 and chopped down as he picks up 12 more on that play. And another Oak Hill first down.
The offense is just grinding it out, right? He gets hit. This time he goes down, but he had a nice hole. We still have the number ones in for Oak Hill, and, you know, rightfully so, because they've had a tough season. And now that they're scoring some points, they need to get the confidence heading into sectional play, which happens in just 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, but the only real substitution I've noticed is Blake Fox in for Holtz.
Right.
Of course, after Holtz had the big night. Here is Fox with the hole inside the 10 and finally taken down inside the 5-yard line down at the 4. And now, I think really for the first time, this Madison-Grant defense really looks worn out. Yeah.
They're tired. Nice run by Fox, and he's the backup, but he's running hard. He gets another 10 yards and a first down, goal to goal at the 4-yard line.
Cates and Feltner in on the tackle there for Madison-Grant. Game clock now approaching the 4-minute mark. Oak Hill very happy to keep the ball on the ground and run this clock. McCorkle's going to keep it. Turn left, and he's hemmed in, and then he is taken down by Isaac Cooper.
Cooper, from that defensive end spot, has had a nice game. He's had several tackles, has played offense, defense. And most of these guys out here are playing both ways. You've got 27 guys, and a lot of them are the younger kids. We saw the 6 seniors honored, and basically what you have left is about 19 returning lettermen for next year.
It'll be second and goal for Oak Hill, but now they're back outside the 5-yard line. Here's McCorkle. Fox, or right side, gets it back inside the 5, down to the 4, maybe down to the 3-yard line. And that looked like for Madison-Grant, someone in. Couldn't see who it was, but a little bit slow getting up. Don't have a 52 on a roster.
No.
Actually, yeah, the 52, Alex Webb, excuse me, I think is who that was.
That's who it is, because he has a double number. And he's one of the captains, by the way.
So now it is 3rd and goal. Go to Fox. Yes, they do. Fox hit at the line of scrimmage, dives towards the goal line. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. Hand it off to Fox just one more time. I would.
Here you see the drive off, and Madison-Grant's line does a nice job holding the because they've been moved back quite a bit. And this time they weren't moved back. They're going to have to earn this touchdown if they get it on 4th down.
Couple times in 4th down in this game, the Argyle's defense is held. We'll see if they can do it once again. We're under 2 minutes to play. And, boy, if that's a penalty against Oak Hill, that's not a good penalty.
Madison-Grant going to their goal line. They had 7 guys jammed in between the tackles, thinking that Oak Hill would go between the tackles on that play.
Well, I haven't seen it. No, he's. No.
I
I thought it was against Oak Hill,
yeah,
but I wasn't.
Some kind of procedure, maybe. Nope, off.
Say offside against the offense. So we'll see.
Wow, that doesn't happen very often. Here we see the play. Yeah, there he is. The right tackle is off. 56.
Well, Tristan Hayes.
Tristan Hayes isn't going to. But that's great camera work by our guys down there. They know why it was a offsides penalty.
Minute 40. Clock is now ticking away, and with the lead 34-12, obviously Oak Hill is going to come away with their 2nd win of the season against their county rivals, the Madison-Grant Argyles, and now Oak Hill is going to call a timeout. The question is, we'll talk more about what that question is
what
after
is
this
question?
timeout. High school football, WIWU.
Several starters on the bench. That one is tipped and it picked up, intercepted, back the other way at the 30, the 20, down the sideline.
So is Lysander.
Himself, he is. But in this time, wanting your Father's voice, the other must be held, the worthy.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall Key.
And I'm Katie Key, and as you can see, we're not stuck in the studio anymore.
It's faster than you think.
Well, that was a very quick timeout, and Oak Hill decided to go for a field goal, and it was blocked. I'm not sure, Ron, who got this block. It was Rigney who came up. Oh, coming in with a great block. I think that was Isaac Cooper coming in off the edge.
Yes, it was.
That was textbook. To time that dive for the where the ball was going to be off the front of that kicker's foot.
And Isaac is coming off. So that hurt. But here he goes. Watch him from the left side, from the defensive left. He lays out.
Well, he got kind of crunched by his own man after the play. There you see. Then, obviously, no matter what, it's going to be Madison-Grant football. But Jimmy Rigney had thoughts maybe seeing if he couldn't pick that one up and returning it back the other way. So, I credit this Madison-Grant defense. I think that was the 3rd time on a 4th down play where they've come up with some sort of stop. Here's the handoff. Luger, who's getting some a carry here for Madison-Grant, number 21. Just a freshman. But we approach the 1-minute mark here. I said the question was, before we went to the timeout, the question wasn't whether or not Oak Hill was going to win this football game. It's not whether or not they were going to put some more points on the scoreboard. It has been answered, and Madison-Grant holds.
And from Madison-Grant's stand, it was a pride thing.
Yes.
The block was a pride thing to say the game may be over as far as points, but we haven't quit yet, and they do get the block, and it was a nice stretch out there. But I'll tell you what, when you block a kick that close, it hurts.
Oh, for sure. Hey, Ron, while we got a second here, maybe we talk a little bit Indiana Wesleyan Wildcat football. They have the bye week this week. Right. We're pretty excited about homecoming game next Saturday, October the 6th, where the Wildcats will host the Saints, the University of St. Francis in Illinois. Yeah. And it should be a big test for Indiana Wesleyan. They're going to find out maybe how good they are that game.
Yeah, I just hope that we get a big crowd out there. I don't know if it'll be as big as the Taylor crowd, but certainly with a lot of alumni coming back. And that's one of the positive things about playing college football is you get alumni coming back for games.
And I tell you what a fun team to watch play. Here's Johnson on the carry, picks up the first down. I mean, we have been impressed with what Coach Jordan Langs and his staff has done with that team in the first year of their program. The offense from day one, from game one, has been outstanding.
Exactly.
And now that defense is starting to find its identity and come along.
Here's that running play and a pickup of another first down for Madison-Grant with 40 seconds to go, and they haven't quit. They're still trying.
One, maybe two plays left in this football game. Excuse me, this is Brooks. And then the handoff, Johnson is hit inside. I mean, I think it was Rossman who made the first hit, and he bounced off of that, but nowhere to go after that. But that'll do it, I believe. That'll be the final play of the football game, as there's only 5 seconds now remaining. 34-12, Oak Hill over Madison-Grant in this CIC matchup. And so Oak Hill now with their second win of the season, they go to 2-5. Madison-Grant falls to 1-6. So congratulations, though, Coach Bud Osmond and his Golden Eagles. And we saw a little bit of the future for Oak Hill tonight. A lot of sophomores getting good minutes, makes the big plays.
Certainly some good seniors for Oak Hill. Bradley Rossman, leading tackler on this team. Stuart Mossholder on that line. Those two young men do a nice job. Stuart Mossholder pulls well.
Yes.
He pulls. When they want to trap or when they want to get outside, they go to Stuart Mossholder. And that's the thing. I watched the line, and here we see the guys shaking hands, and certainly it is a joyous time over there on the visitor side.
We're going to check in with Randall King, who has the Victoria's head coach, Bud Osmond.
Coach Bud Osmond, you said earlier in the week you were ready for a win, you were ready for a county rival. Do you like the effort all 4 quarters from your team this
Yeah,
night?
I do. I mean, we played hard. We came out. We made some mistakes. We didn't finish a couple of things, a couple of drives, which is it's been pretty consistent with us. That we needed to get some things, finish the drives. We came out with a strong second half there, really got some momentum going, and then we started playing like we knew we could play.
Put the ball in the air a lot tonight on a windy night. What do you like that you're getting from McCorkle that makes you feel confident in that?
Well, Clay's not the strongest storm quarterback, but he's got great accuracy, and we've got 4 or 5 guys that catch the ball really well. So anytime we can put the ball up and just give him a chance, Clay's pretty good at hitting it where a guy can catch it, and we've done a pretty good job so far this year of catching the ball when we've had the opportunity.
You also told us Thursday about that offensive line. When you came out in the second half and you rushed for 77 yards and that score, is that kind of a statement, a confidence boost for them, or was it just sort of possession, ball control?
Well, it's a little bit more. We wanted to establish the run. We threw the ball early in the game, and then we came back and we wanted to establish the run here in the second half. And then with John Holtz being able to break a few and really get us some momentum and take that drive down and put it in. Once we got into that rhythm, first half was a little more pass, second half was a little more run.
Last question quickly. You're building and you're rebuilding, and you've talked about this team being young. What does this do, pick up this second win, and also, importantly, a county rival?
Yeah, it's just a great momentum builder for us. We've been talking all along that we're better than our record. We're doing some really positive things. For us to come out with a win tonight and try to get some momentum heading into these last 2 regular season games and into the playoffs is going to be huge for us.
Thank you, Coach. Let you go talk to your players. Right, Coach Bud Osmond, back to you, Roger.
All right, and they touched on, Ron, that first drive of the second half, it's a 14-6 ball game. They marched down the field 82 yards, and that really, they just showed what they've taken over this football game.
Going in, we felt like maybe Oak Hill would have the advantage just because they play a lot more players, and certainly they did have the advantage, especially the second half when Madison-Grant got tired. And a great win for Oak Hill, great effort for Madison-Grant.
Well, and again, Well, the other thing I want to check on or talk about is what Coach Osmond said. You know, his young players gain some confidence and getting good leadership from a sophomore quarterback. I like what we saw tonight.
I tell you, they have some good senior leadership, including his son, by the way. And so good effort all around from both teams, but ultimately Oak Hill took the win.
Well, for Ron Vermillion, I'm Roger Alcock. For our entire WIW crew, we say thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week on WIWU.